Tonight stage the tie of the round. The visitors, Manchester United, for a tie charged with anticipation and needle. Indifferent so far in the league, United are sparking in the cup, the only side to date to have beaten Liverpool. And after an explosive fortnight for British middleweights, we talk live to the man who's come off simply the best, Chris Eubank. Good evening on another busy and quite breathtaking night in the Rumbelows League Cup. They've been playing for a place in the last 8 and the winners will discover their fate at the end of the programme when the quarter-final draw comes direct from Highbury. We'll be going there in a few moments for what was justifiably billed a tie of the round between Arsenal and Manchester United. But we'll start with a quite sensational display at Highfield Road between Coventry City and the holders Nottingham Forest. Forest unbeaten in 22 matches in the competition and looking to land the trophy for the 3rd year in succession. Now, before the game, player-manager Terry Butcher surprised the fans by leaving himself out of the City lineup for the first time since he joined the club. Our commentator, Alan Parry.
Just out of the picture at the moment, Billing, the big centre-half, has come forward. There he is, number 5, Regis. Also a possible target here. It goes into the near post, in fact. Oh, it's off the line, it's in! Gallagher hits the rebound home, and Coventry City are in front. Billing's clearance, Speedy, who's really fired up to play well here today. Involved again, now Regis in space in the middle. Good ball to him, Gallagher's got 3 again. Oh, what a goal! Two in the space of a minute for Kevin Gallagher. Billing's long ball onto the head of Livingston, and he nearly set Gallagher free again. And it comes back to Gallagher as the two defenders got in each other's way, and Livingston has made it 3! Goes into Regis on the near post, dealt with awkwardly again. Billing coming in there. Oh, and it's turned forward by Gallagher! He's got a hat-trick! Jemson. Turned on by Clough, a lovely ball. Parker. Crosby. They're shell-shocked here, Nottingham Forest. They need a goal now from Clough, and they've got one. Dear, dear, will there be any end to the scoring in the first half? Hodge had nowhere to go. Good covering by Coventry. Jemson gets it back to him again, and a good ball for Clough. Unbelievable, it's another goal. Clough second, Nottingham Forest second, the 6th of the half. With 3 minutes still to play in the to the interval, it's now Coventry 4, Nottingham Forest 2. Keane. Pearce with the cross. Could have gone anywhere, and still could. Now the linesman has flagged that he's given a goal. And Nottingham Forest have pulled it back to 4-3. Good ball. Parker into space, and he's lost his marker well. And hit it. Oh, it's gone in! Unbelievably, Nottingham Forest, who were 4 behind with 12 minutes of the first half remaining, are now level. Corner. Over Regis's head. Peake played it in towards the far post. Regis again. Has it gone in? Yes, it's forced in. Livingston finally forcing the ball in, and Coventry City are back in front.
Every game's like that. I'll either be grey or bald at the time I'm 33. But no, it's great. It's great for the fans that we've scored 5 goals. Obviously not so good that we've let in 4, but it was a rip-roarer anyway. And I think anybody who's neutral in the crowd got their money's worth tonight.
Going into that game, Nottingham Forest, cup holders for the last 2 years in this competition, unbeaten for 22 games. I mean, that looked very formidable for you, didn't it?
Well, it proved tonight that they are great cup fighters. They have got a great record in this competition, and they were obviously determined not to relinquish the trophy very easily. And to be 4-0 down, they just gave it a go, and all credit to them for coming back to 4-4. And but even at 4-4, I still fancied our team to do well, and towards the end it could have been either way. But we're obviously pleased. The lads are delighted, and we're in the hat again.
It was incredible, wasn't it? Afterwards, there was a bit of a set-to between Kevin Gallagher and Nigel Clough because they both scored a hat-trick, both wanted the match ball. Clough tried to grab it, but the ref wouldn't let him, and then later on, Terry Butcher said that Gallagher had the ball or a ball. So it's all a load of claim and counterclaim, isn't it? Now, the big one in London between Arsenal and Manchester United lived up to expectations as well, with some cracking goals. We'll be off to Highbury next. We prepare for the tie between Arsenal and Manchester United, which triggered a sharp intake of breath when it was pulled out of the bag so soon after the gruesome brawl involving the two clubs just over a month ago. Let's hope it's the football we'll be talking about after their latest meeting, this time in round 4 of the League Cup. Our commentator, Brian Moore.
There's no doubt the reputation of two great old clubs was scarred by those moments of madness at Old Trafford last month, the loutish behaviour of some of the players unworthy of the shirts they wore. Even so, and partly perhaps because of it, it's close to a full house at Highbury tonight, all ticket, on a night when the air will certainly crackle with competition, but when decent sporting behaviour must also be evident, as I think it will be. And so for once, we feature first the referee, the most senior official on the list in terms of age, 51-year-old John Martin of Alton in Hampshire. A steady, firm hand required from him tonight. The teams then, Arsenal field the side that won with a late burst at Queen's Park Rangers on Saturday. A defence with 7 clean sheets in the last 9, and an attack that is now firing well. Smith with 5, 3 in the last 2 games. Merson with 6, Limpar the Swede, top scorer with 8. Certainly pressure on Tony Adams in a week when he finds himself reported to the FA for a gesture he made to the QPR crowd after an Arsenal goal on Saturday. But I fancy he can handle that. Manchester United so disappointed with the defeat by Chelsea live on ITV on Sunday. After a run of 7 games unbeaten, they make a surprise change. Neil Webb is dropped to substitute for the first time. The number 7 shirt going to Lee Sharp. Sharp presumably down the left, and it could mean another switch to the right for Danny Wallace. So Neil Webb loses his place, sits on the bench with Mal Donaghy. 2 big clubs then looking for a place in the quarter-finals. And in box 34 here at Highbury, officials of the league, of Rumbelows and guest Bobby Moore, they are meeting. It's here that the draw will be made later on, and you, of course, will see it for yourselves. And away we go. A night when football really must be the winner. Manchester United in the change strip of blue, attacking the goal to our left. Up to Danny Wallace, on towards Hughes, and Seaman quickly there. Arsenal unbeaten this season in 17 games, the best start the Gunners have had in 43 years. It's a throw then to Manchester United. Clayton Blackmore with it to Paul Ince. Hit high again towards Hughes. Knocked down nicely there for Sharp. Wallace. A foul there by Davis. And John Martin very quickly on the scene there. A free kick then to Manchester United. Tremendous amount at stake for both these clubs, particularly for Manchester United. Their chances of a league championship slipping away. Blackmore's shot hits with great venom. Terrific shot, and Manchester United go into the lead inside 2 minutes. Just a little touch of a free kick to him, and he drove it so beautifully just inside David Seaman's post. United in the lead. And a really dramatic start then to the big night here at Highbury. And back to Seaman. Dixon. A lot of pace about this early game. The pitch in terrific condition as well. Here's Smith. Stopped by Pallister. Sharp. United's free kick, back with Les Seedy. And they allowed that to go a long way as Hughes and Wallace were homing in on David Seaman. certainly a white-hot atmosphere out on the pitch. Up goes Bruce. Gone by Sharp towards Hughes. Sharp going on, an excellent advantage played there by the referee. Sharp with Wallace in there. Adams choosing his moment well, but still Sharp did well. And Seaman dived for that one and needed to because Wallace was just behind him. Terrific work there by Lee Sharp. And now Perry Groves at the other end for Arsenal. Bruce trying to get in there. Groves going on. A terrific bit of goalkeeping that time by Seeley. Well, this is a cup tie that really is living up to its billing. Great bursts at both ends. This was the break that put Perry Groves in. Bruce couldn't quite hold him, but Seeley did very well indeed. Davis with the corner for Arsenal, floated in again towards Bold. Callister got above him. Dixon will return it now. No, plays it wide for Davis. And referee spotting an infringement. The linesman also inside that Manchester United penalty area. There was a bit of shoving inside the box there. But Seeley certainly reacted superbly when Perry Groves was through. And it's a kick. McClare, hustled by Winterburn. This is Phelan. Wallace in the middle, and he couldn't quite reach Hughes with that one as Arsenal bring it away now with Paul Davis. A lovely ball now for Dixon. Thomas has made a tremendous surging run through the middle, so has Groves. And Merson's in there too, and Arsenal just couldn't find the right person there to finish it off. But what a great move that was. From one end of the field, from one side of the field to the other, ending up here with Dixon's ball in, and it looked as though any one of 3 or 4 might have had a go at that. In the end, it went into the side netting. Arsenal's corner. Touch on by Smith, but over the top, goal kick. Steve Bold, not amongst the goal scorers for some time. In fact, his last goal was in the season before last. But always a threat at that near post with a flick on. Seeley with the kick. Limpar. Stopped by Ince. A combination of Ince and Hughes. Blackmore playing it forward. Wallace again, looking really lively. Danny Wallace. And then just pulled it wide. But Wallace is beginning to show the Southampton form that attracted Alec Ferguson in the first place. Bought him very expensively from the South Coast club. Took some time to settle in at Old Trafford, but it looks as though Danny Wallace is really beginning to motor for United. Here's Smith again. Cut out well by Pallister. Touch there. McClare from Hughes' touch, and now to Sharp onto the left foot. Good save by Seaman, and McClare puts it over. United had a real chance there. Wasn't quite the conviction that was required really about Lee Sharp's shot, and although it was a good save by Seaman, you had the feeling that something might have been taken after that. It was a lovely move. McClare's ball through to Lee Sharp onto the left foot, not with really quite the power enough to worry Seaman that much, and in the end McClare puts it over. Groves. United's throw, or rather Arsenal's throw, which Perry Groves will take. Was slipped by Owen. And Owen back at him. But concedes the free kick. Foul there by the fullback on Alan Smith. And a free kick to Arsenal in could be a dangerous situation on that far side. Davis. Thomas. Oh, he sidestepped the challenge of Sharp well there. He's gone past another one as well. A little touch. Thomas still going through there, looking to finish it off. Well, that was a great bit of play there by Michael Thomas. Goes past one. And the little touch, and he almost got in there as well, Thomas, to finish it off. Ince. Leclerc. Hughes has gone off on a run. Winterbird holding up McClare very well there. Wallace on the far side keeps it in play very well, and a good ball played in there for Irwin. Now for towards Lee Sharp, and it's Dixon who puts it over for the corner. Lee Sharp then. Blackmore. Getting it to Sharp. Into Wallace. Oh, now for Hughes! Another one! Mark Hughes, number 2. And what a brilliant move that was by United. Played in by Sharp. Wallace, a lovely ball by him. Thank you very much, says Hughes, stretching out and planting it wide of the goalkeeper. Dixon knocking it forward. Limpar. Stopped by Pallister. Ince. Limpar. Limpar's throw. Tried to get Smith away. Bruce was there for Manchester United. Bowl. Davis. Thomas. Perry Groves. Hughes. Offside this time. Dixon. So a foul on Limpar? It wasn't. Referee allowed the game to go on. It's with Danny Wallace. That was a lovely ball by Wallace into the path of Mark Hughes, and here he is now tormenting Steve Bold. 3 men in fact came across to have a go at Wallace there, but it's still with Manchester United and Lee Sharp onto the right foot. It's another one. 3-0. A fantastic goal by Lee Sharp. And the United bench are on their feet. And the United fans as well just can't believe it. That was a magnificent goal by Sharp. Looked up, saw the possibilities, deliberately curled it wide of David Seaman. And there's that neck billowing again with the 3rd Manchester United goal. A superb strike by Lee Sharp. A deliberate curler and absolutely inch perfect. Bruce stopping Merson. It's a monumental task now for Arsenal. And the night began to go badly for them right at the start with that goal by Clayton Blackmore from the free kick. And then Mark Hughes and that lovely ball played in by Danny Wallace. And then a wonderful individual effort there by Lee Sharp to make the 3rd. It's a big, big job for Arsenal in the second half. United are coasting it at the moment. It's Arsenal 0, Manchester United 3. Well, a stunning first half performance then by Manchester United that will have people talking for quite a while and leaves Arsenal with an enormous job in the second. The last time Arsenal in fact conceded 3 goals in this competition last season when they went out to Oldham Athletic. No substitutions on either side. Oh, I imagine Kevin Campbell, an Arsenal striker, with a good goal touch, might well be needed before this night is out. Up goes Adams. And Merson gets it back to goalkeeper David Seaman. Oh, it would have been a fly on the Arsenal dressing room wall. Adams. Merson. Oh, that'll be cut out by McClair. Versus Winterburn, it's an Arsenal throw. The players had an excellent first half for Manchester United. Winterburn with the throw. An unintentional trip, it seemed, there by Pallister. A free kick given to Arsenal on Perry Groves. Haven't quite seen the magic of Anders Limpar yet tonight. But maybe that's waiting for us in the second half. There's his free kick. Up goes Pallister. In goes Bold. And Thomas! Terrific save. Smith! And Arsenal get the encouragement of that early goal. Alan Smith. After Seeley had made a terrific save from Michael Thomas's shot. Limpar's free kick. Pallister not really getting any distance with that header. And it falls in the end for Michael Thomas. Good work by Seeley. And Smith then rounding up that loose ball and giving Arsenal that goal they so badly needed. Won by Thomas. A lovely ball played by Smith. Limpar into the path of Groves. Just held up there by Pallister, and the back pass by Bruce prevented from going for the corner by Les Seeley. Bruce is injured. And Seeley knocks it into touch. United still leading by 3-1. Smith's header. Bruce gets it away. Look at the space for Wallace. And Hughes is in there. Arsenal could be facing problems here. Into Mark Hughes. Good work by Seaman. And he just gets there as Sharp came in. But a great break by United. A lovely ball played in by Danny Wallace. And Seaman got there just before Hughes. Thomas. And an offside flag is up. It was a great break by Manchester United. Look at the space there for Danny Wallace. And he flicks it in there with the outside of the boot. And Seaman just gathered it. You can see the frustration for Mark Hughes, and Seaman just getting there before Lee Sharp. Winterburn. Two United men going for that, both Phelan and Bruce. And Phelan rounding on Steve Bruce there, maybe for not giving him a shout. Thomas. Oh, good play there by Merson. Paul Merson, terrific shots. Almost took Seeley off his feet. But it was the skill that led to that opening that was so exceptional there by Paul Merson. And hit with such power. This is the moment there when he outwits Clayton Blackmore and then drives that one in there, which almost took Seeley off his feet. United still leading 3-1. Limpar. Dixon. Oh, almost got his way through there. Now McClair to Wallace. Sharp's gone off on a run. Hughes is up there too. Wallace might take some holding also. Really attacking this defence, and then in the end, a rather limp shot. Smith. Thomas. Offside against Groves. He was, the Arsenal fans, no point in complaining about that. Winterburn. Stopped by Seeley. A good foraging run there by the fullback. hasn't scored for a couple of seasons, Nigel Winterburn. Suddenly getting into a really good, strong position here. And then Seeley down well. And it's a real crackling atmosphere, which I hope you're enjoying at home. Dixon. Thomas lets it go through. Can Adams get there first? No. Now the break is on for Hughes. Arsenal might be caught now as Hughes goes on and is saved by Seaman. But that's the risk Arsenal presumably have got to take now. But United might well catch them on the counter-attack. Davis, bit of space here for him. But Ince is in there. Davis retains it. Limpar, the little ball now to Thomas. Driven again, just over. So a moment after Hughes is right through at the other end. This at the Manchester United end of it, as Thomas's shot goes over that crossbar. Seeley with the kick. Halfway through the second half. Dixon. Here's Smith. Oh, and he's got Groves away now. Limpar waiting in the middle, and it'll be a corner. Paul Davis with the corner. Deafening noise here at Highbury now as Arsenal come looking for that second goal. Adams, was it over the line? Smith. Well, whether Tony Adams' header across the line first is open to doubt. What is sure is that Alan Smith finished it off. And Arsenal are right back in the game. There's the header by Adams. No, it needed Smith's touch. A good jump by the Arsenal captain. And look at the space right in that 6-yard area that Merson was allowed. And United will be kicking themselves for letting that silly goal go away. Arsenal 2, Manchester United 3. And still almost 20 minutes to go. Blackmore with a throw for United to Sharp. Now Blackmore. Merson. Davis. Thomas is up ahead of him. Strong running player from the midfield. Smith is in there too. Stopped by Seeley. A terrific break again by Arsenal. And the United keeper dropped on that just in time. Great run by Michael Thomas. Onto the left foot, and then Seeley saves. Arsenal about to make a substitution. Kevin Campbell's coming on, and Anders Limpar's going off. So Campbell will be up front now with Alan Smith, and Steve Bruce is going off for Manchester United, and Mal Donaghy's coming on. Ince. Can't hear yourself think, let alone speak here at the moment. Ince and now Donaghy calmly back to goalkeeper Seeley. Place in the quarter-finals of the Rumbelows League Cup at stake, remember. United leading by 3 goals to 2. Leclerc to Irwin. Oh, some space here now for Hughes. No foul. Hughes finding Irwin. The cross is a good one. And it's a splendid goal there by Lee Sharp again. A finely worked goal by Manchester United. And that might just kill off Arsenal's comeback. The cross in by Irwin was a beauty, superbly met by Lee Sharp, his second goal of the game. And each of them of the highest quality. There's Irwin's cross, a flying header by Lee Sharp. Arsenal 2, Manchester United 4. Davis. And there's Seeley again taking no chances. From the second tier of the stand here, the throw to Arsenal. Nigel Winterburn with it. There. Hughes to Wallace. There's a lovely chance now for Sharp on a hat-trick, and he's got it! 5 for United, 3 to Lee Sharp. And it's all over now, the big smile of that Man United player. Lee Sharp, the 19-year-old, with a magic touch tonight. Danny Wallace, who's, I must say, he's had a hand in about 2 or 3 of the goals for Manchester United. And Sharp with a wicked finish there. It may have just come off Seaman and billowed again into the corner of the net. A delightful touch by Wallace. A striking finish again by Lee Sharp. The 5th for Manchester United, leading by 5 goals to 2. I was saying at half-time that the last time Arsenal had conceded 3 was last season against Oldham. I think you'd need to thumb through quite a number of record books to find when they last conceded 5. Campbell. Merson. Great shot, a lovely save by Seeley. Merson really dug at that one. From Campbell's ball, there's Merson's shot, and a flying save by Les Seeley. A corner to Arsenal. Pallister up above them all. Sharp. Oh, there's a little touch. McLeod. To Hughes. Wallace waiting in the middle. McLeod's in there too. And it's another one, Wallace. It's 6. The sky has fallen in on Arsenal tonight, as Danny Wallace makes it goal number 6. McLeod's run. The ball played in by Hughes. Arsenal at 6s and 7s. It came off Seaman and finished off by Danny Wallace. But it's been a spectacular night of cup-tie football as the final whistle goes. A night when truly football was the winner in the most spectacular terms, and Manchester United also in the most spectacular terms, thanks to those 3 goals. The hat-trick man there, 19-year-old Lee Sharp. 2 fine shots and a header. And Clayton Blackmore and Mark Hughes, the other scorers for Manchester United, with Danny Wallace weighing in one right at the end, and Alan Smith with the 2 for Arsenal. A great night of cup-tie football, played in the best possible spirit. Arsenal's unbeaten record is shattered, and it's Manchester United who go into the quarter-finals of the Rumbelow Cup. Arsenal 2, Manchester United 6.
The ball as a result of your first hat-trick for Manchester United.
Yeah, it's this will go in the cabinet with some of my other trophies. Yeah, it's going to stay there.
What a fabulous night for you and for the club generally.
Yeah, it was always going to be a difficult tie, and to score 6 goals here, it's magnificent.
And your first hat-trick, as we say, for Man United, your first goal was quite stunning. We can have a look at that one again, actually, Lee, where you draw it onto your right foot. And you were always looking, actually, to curl it, weren't you?
Just got there in front of Lee Dixon, and I just had a look just about there. And I just swung the right foot, and it went in.
Now, all the way, you're hoping?
Well, I hope so, yeah.
Lee, thanks a lot and well done.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Not a total surprise that it was Arsenal's heaviest defeat in the League Cup. In fact, it was their heaviest home defeat for 70 years. So we've had, 17 goals in 2 games so far. Plenty more to come, eh, Tony?
Well, can you take any more goals, or will that do? Well, stand by. No great surprises in tonight's other ties, but one second division team still in with a chance, and that's Sheffield Wednesday. Trevor Francis was recalled to Wednesday's starting lineup and fashioned the opening goal in the 14th minute, a perfect cross for David Hurst to head his 12th of the season. Ron Atkinson's boys, aiming for an immediate return to Division 1, should have been 2 up. Francis to Wilson, but Shilton equal to that. Guess who rescued Derby? Well, Dean Saunders has done it once or twice now. Dramatic stuff as well. Briscoe against the bar. Micklewhite's shot turned against the post eventually, but there was Saunders from close range to force a replay at the baseball ground. Aston Villa were at home to Middlesbrough, another promotion-seeking team who were bamboozled by Tony Daly. He helped to engineer Villa's opener for Ormond Droid on 12 minutes. And Daly decided he didn't need any assistance on the hour. A terrific individual goal to make it 2-0. Wow. And 10 minutes from time, David Platt's penalty persuaded Villa to relax. And that was nearly fatal. Bernie Slaven pulled a goal back in 86 minutes. And the Republic of Ireland striker caught Villa napping again in injury time. Suddenly it was 3-2. But the First Division side without Cascarino, who was left out, were through to the last 8. And the missing result tonight, Oxford United 1, Chelsea 2, 2 goals there for Gordon Jury. Well, a couple of interesting results in the UEFA Cup. Inter Milan, who spoiled it for Aston Villa a couple of weeks ago, trimmed Partizan 3-0 in their home leg. And more trouble for Bordeaux, who are caught up in a fraud scandal. They were thrashed 5-0 in Rome. A hat-trick there for Rudi Völler.
Thanks very much, Tony. We'll so to the draw now for the quarter-finals of the Rumbelows League Cup, which took place a short time ago at Highbury. As always, the master of ceremonies is the league secretary, David Dent.
We now come to the draw for the quarter-finals of the Rumbelows League Cup. Assisting me with the draw, on my right is Mr. Bill Cosgrove, Commercial Director of Rumbelows, and on my left, Bobby Moore. I will ask Bill to draw the home club.
Number 3.
Coventry City.
Number 6.
We'll play Sheffield Wednesday or Derby County.
Number 2.
Chelsea.
Number 8.
We'll play Tottenham Hotspur.
Number 7.
Southampton.
Number 5.
We'll play Manchester United.
Number 4.
Leeds United.
We'll play number 1.
We'll play Aston Villa. That concludes the draw. The ties are due to be played during the week commencing the 14th of January.
Alex, so away to Southampton. I think as that draw was coming out and I said Southampton, I think I heard you say under your breath, I don't think we want that one.
I was going for a home draw after winning here tonight. But it doesn't matter, you're in the quarter-final. Incentives are all there, and it's been a marvellous cup run so far, and we just want to continue.
Yeah, it's not been easy for you. Liverpool and then Arsenal away, and now Southampton away.
Well, I think that's maybe the best for this club anyway. We seem to respond to the real challenges, and Southampton's one of those.
Right, let's just have a look again at that cup draw. Just to remind you, Coventry City against Sheffield Wednesday or Derby. Coventry, of course, in the semi-final last year. Chelsea against Spurs, a repeat of the FA Cup final of, what, 67. Southampton, Manchester United, FA Cup final they had in 76. Leeds against Aston Villa. Leeds winners in 68. Villa have won the trophy 3 times. And just a reminder that the ties to be played in the week beginning January the 14th. Well, now to boxing, and I'm joined by a man who needs no introduction to any of the millions who watched him defeat Nigel Benn 2 weeks ago. A fight described as the greatest ever to take place in a British ring. The question was whether the mind games of Chris Eubank could confound Benn's venomous aggression, and more specifically, if Eubank's jaw, so active outside the ring, could survive inside.
So we're into the final minute of the second then. scheduled for 12.
Oh, that was a short, Reg. Well, Eubanks has taken that one, Reg, so he can take a shot. That was the one.
Yeah. Other fighters haven't stood up with punches like that from Ben, have they?
That was a good shot, and that certainly got a reaction from Eubank. That was a lovely shot, Reg.
That's answered a lot of questions, Jim, almost the final piece of the jigsaw, really, because I often wondered whether he could really take that good a punch, because he's never had a puncher compared with Ben.
And Eubank is going to have to come back with punches, Reg. He's not going to be able to strut. He's going to have to try and hurt Ben. He's done it, Reg.
He's done Ben by the look of it. He chopped that right hand down, though. He's right above us, Ben, almost falling down on the ring on us here.
This is what we've seen Ben so dangerous from this position. Here it comes.
He's always saying he likes to battle back, Ben. Well, he's got to do it here. He tried to do it with Watson, but it didn't work.
Ben's legs are shaking. That was Ben.
Oh, what a shot.
Shot really shaker.
Opened him up with the left hand and then shot the right hand over, and it connected. There's the countdown. If he did go down, the count would continue.
Ben's shaking, Reg.
Oh, right to his boots, Jim.
Ben is shaking. The eyes wash, Reg. This will be the finish of the belt.
And it's all over in the 9th round.
Chris Eubank is a very good fighter. He's a very good counter puncher. He's a very good thinking man's fighter. Hard puncher. The only worrying thing about him is I don't think he holds a body shot very well. I think he has difficulty making the middleweight limit and being strong at it. He's still a growing man, but he's definitely one of the top 3-4 fighters in the world at the middleweight division. Nigel Benn has, as far as I'm concerned, has had his day. He's had a lot of hard fights. Still got a puncher's chance, but I think it's going to be very difficult for him to get a world title fight again.
On the same bill, Michael Watson, the only other man to humble Ben, but later demolished by Mike McCallum, was out to re-establish his credentials against former Golden Boy Errol Christie.
There was a slight delay there. That right-hand punch, he really couldn't make that one, and I doubt now whether he's going to make that. He's crawling to the ropes, and he's counting him out because he's not in a position to defend himself.
Watson is the dark horse of the whole bunch. He's a very promising middleweight. He's a very good all-rounder, does everything well. I just don't know whether he's got enough class to win a world title, but he's certainly up there with the best of them.
As for Harold Graham, the only boxer Eubank will acknowledge as the master, he seemed to be cruising for the WBC version of the title last Saturday in Spain. His opponent, the short-sighted Julian Jackson, looked completely in the dark, but suddenly the lights went out for the bomber.
Using every inch. Oh, what a punch! I can't believe that. Never been stopped in his career, and he's out to the world.
Harold has had his chance twice and unfortunately has just failed to get it. Last time was probably the most unfortunate of all. He didn't take a lot of punishment, but he was not cold, and we don't know what sort of effect that's going to have on him. It'll be interesting to see. He certainly has the ability to get right back up there again. Whether or not he'll get a world title fight is another thing.
You watch out. From when he comes back, he'll box middleweights, super middleweights, light heavyweights, and heavyweights. And everybody will say, bloody hell, this Graham is fantastic. You watch it, he's going to get better.
Chris Eubank, you were there at ringside for that one. That was a murderous punch, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It certainly was, yeah. It's going to have devastating effects on him. I don't know whether he's going to come back. I would like to avenge that loss for him. I'd like to fight Julian Jackson, as I've already made clear to Barry Hearn and to Carl King.
So what are your immediate plans?
My immediate plans is to get married.
That's definitely on, is it?
On the 23rd of December, yes.
Well, on the strength of that emotional night when you proposed on the television.
Now I'm successful, now I will get married. I've always said I would do as soon as I win a world championship, and I've done that, and so I will get married now.
And that's next month, you say?
Yeah.
And then when do you think your next fight will be? And
we're
who
talking
will it
about
be?
February. We're talking about February or March of '91, and I'd prefer, as I said, to fight Julian Jackson.
But Steve Collins is lined up, isn't he, the Irishman?
I believe so. I believe, and I'm willing to put it on the line, that I can beat him, and so we shall go ahead with it if we can't get Julian Jackson.
Of course, you know what everyone wants, don't you? A rematch with Nigel Benn. Under the headline, what are they calling it? Unfinished business.
Well, I've been in Spain for 5 days now. I've just got back into the country today, and people have said to me that Nigel has been saying, and Ambrose has been saying that they want a rematch now. I am the WBO champion of the world. This is a democracy, it's not a dictatorship. This is my title, it belongs to me. Barry Hearn is my advisor and he shall call the shots, not them. We are the people who own the title. I am the man and I will continue to be the man for as long as I'm undefeated. They have no say, it doesn't belong to them, it's my title.
The only thing is you could make, what, £500,000 from that fight?
I will not fight Nigel Benn for £500,000. That's out of the question. He got £1 million for fighting me. I would be looking for far more than £1 million for fighting him because he's a very dangerous man. If he would like to be one of the best 4 middleweights on earth, then it's going to cost a lot more than that. And as I said, he's not to dictate to me. I'm the one who is to dictate, or Barry Hearn, not him.
I thought you might have climbed down a bit since your fight with him, you know, change your attitude, but you're still as confident as ever, aren't you?
Well, of course, I'm 25 fights, 25 wins, I'm the champion of the world. My confidence is 100%. I know I'm a brilliant fighter. I've proven that.
Yeah, presumably your life has absolutely changed fundamentally since that night, in people's attitude to you, in the money that's coming in and so on, and just the whole sort of future.
I've always said every dog will have his day and I will have mine, and I'm having mine now. And one day I must come unstuck, but not by the likes of Nigel Benn.
Let's have a look at your belt, by the way, because I know you're very proud of that.
Sure.
Understandably.
Sure.
Here it goes. That's upside down, isn't it? Oh, well, we'll find out, won't we?
No, it isn't.
No, I've got it right.
Fine. No, it is. That's the World Boxing Organization title. I am the man.
Means quite a lot to you, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I mean, I've worked 8 years for this. 8 years, you know. I've denied myself everything what normal people have to get this world title. And I intend to unify it with the WBA or the WBC. WBA belonging to Mike McCallum and the WBC belonging to Julian Jackson. I believe I can beat these people. Michael Nunn, I will fight him. I think I need another 6 or 7 months in
He
training.
said you're not in his class, didn't he?
He can say what he pleases. He's entitled to his opinion. I'm entitled to mine, and I believe I can beat him when the time is right. And if the business side of it is right, then the fight shall go ahead. But Mike McCallum and Julian Jackson are the two most important people in my life. They're the people I want to fight, and I want their titles.
Be looking forward to see your next little fight.
And I intend to take their titles.
Well, Chris, thanks for joining us. We wish you well. I'm just going to mention now a competition for you with 12 of these videos on offer, the story of that dramatic fight in Birmingham 2 weeks ago, the topic, naturally enough, the middleweight scene, and it's 4 world champions. Chris Eubank is the WBO holder, Julian Jackson has the WBC version. We want to know who holds the IBF middleweight title and who's the WBA champion. 2 names required, the IBF and the WBA world middleweight title holders. Answers on a postcard to Boxing Competition, Midweek Sports Special, 149 Tottenham Court Road, London, W1P9LL. That's all for tonight. The next football on ITV comes this weekend in The Match. What a game it is. The 2 so far unbeaten giants of the First Division, Arsenal and Liverpool, coming together at Highbury. You can see it all live on Sunday afternoon, the programme starting at 2:55. It's been a great night. For now, good night.